In 2015, Nintendo made one of the most memorable typos in video game history when they accidentally tweeted a slur. They very quickly realized their mistake and took down the tweet, but it was too late. The internet had seen it. So in this video, I'll show you Nintendo's rather unfortunate tweet. I'll explain how the mistake happened, and we'll take a look at how the internet reacted to the whole thing. Let's talk about that time Nintendo accidentally tweeted a slur. So, April the 23rd, 2015 began like any other day at Nintendo. Now, at the time, Nintendo of America had two different offices in the US. One in Redmond, Washington, and another in Redwood City, California. Now, the Washington office was the bigger of the two, in charge of things like localizing Nintendo's games into English. The California office, on the other hand, dealt with things like public relations and social media. In fact, that California office had a bit of a reputation within the company for not having played a lot of Nintendo's games, and sometimes getting details about those games and characters wrong. That is a bit of a generalization, though. Anyway, inside that California office was a team of people in charge of all of Nintendo's social media pages, their Facebook, their Twitter, and later on their YouTube too. Now, at the time, the person who ran the social team was a bit of a loose cannon. According to former Nintendo employees, this guy once had the team spend half a day photoshopping a Kanye West parody album cover. In case you're interested, here's what the final result looked like. This is an actual tweet that's still up on Nintendo of America's Twitter account to this day. But it wasn't just Kanye West album covers. Around this time, Nintendo of America's social team were posting a lot of memes. For instance, there's a whole series of memes featuring Cranky Kong, with slogans like, "Memes? Never heard of 'em," "Lol Rickroll, am I doing this right?" and "Double Rainbow, there, I just memed." Now, I get that the idea is that Cranky Kong is old, and so these memes are outdated on purpose, but even in 2014, this was a little embarrassing. And in the years that followed, Nintendo continued posting memes of a similar style to their Twitter page. Which brings us to April the 23rd, 2015. The day started off like any other day. There was one particular employee within the social team who we'll call Daniel. Now, on this day, Daniel went to post a tweet to Nintendo's Twitter page, and that is where things went wrong. You see, at most big companies, social media posts are written, approved, and scheduled long ahead of time, so that by the time they're published, the whole process is automatic. It's not like there's someone sitting in front of a keyboard typing out the tweet and clicking the button. Except, at Nintendo, that's exactly how it worked. This Daniel guy from the social team first took a photo of two Mario plush toys in front of him, Wiggler and Waluigi. Then, he sat down in front of his computer and typed out a caption. It was meant to go like this. Reply "Wah" for hashtag Waluigi Wednesday. Reply "flower" for hashtag Wiggler Wednesday. Except, Daniel made one crucial typo. He missed out the L in Wiggler, which meant the tweet went out like this instead.
Reply "Wah" for Waluigi Wednesday. Reply "flower" for Wednesday.
The innocuous everyday Nintendo tweet ended up having a much more offensive meaning. Now, if you've never come across this word before, it's a combination of two other words, the word white and the N-word. According to various dictionaries, the word refers to a white person who attempts to emulate black speech and culture. In other words, a white person who quote-unquote acts black. Oh, okay, not great then. This word is really not one that Nintendo wants to be using on their Twitter page, especially considering the fact the word literally contains the N-word, one of the most offensive words in the English language. Of all the typos Nintendo could have made, this one was really bad. In the words of Krista Yang, a former Nintendo employee, it was, quote, human error. Someone was literally typing the tweet and just misspelt the word. Unfortunately, it spelt another derogatory word, so that was a little bit unfortunate. But we definitely had an oh shoot, and then a haha kind of moment in the office that day. You see, Krista was not on the social team, but for the people responsible for running Nintendo's Twitter feed, this mistake wasn't such a laughing matter. Pretty quickly, the tweet was deleted, obviously, and a second tweet was quickly published, apologizing for the error. When tweeting about one of our characters, we missed a letter. Oops, sorry about that. And that was the last public acknowledgement that Nintendo as a company made of this incident. But if you look through the replies to their apology tweet, there are a huge number of people who just typed that mistaken hashtag right back at Nintendo. People weren't going to let Nintendo forget about their mistake so easily. And as for the person who made the actual typo, they faced some pretty harsh consequences. Again, according to Krista Yang, the repercussions were pretty severe, honestly. Again, the head of social at that time was pretty iron-fisted, and his team seemed to be a little fearful. This poor person didn't last very long at Nintendo. Now, she clarified that the typo doer wasn't fired because of this incident, but I wouldn't want to have been in the room when the head of the social team confronted them for making that error. Yikes. Now, at this point, over 8 years have gone by, but even to this very day, people will regularly bring up that unfortunate hashtag online. And now you know where it comes from, how this mistake happened. Let that be a lesson to you. Forgo proofreading at your peril. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I was able to fit together a lot of the pieces of this story thanks to a podcast episode from former Nintendo employees Kit and Krista. If you're interested in hearing more stories from their Nintendo days, then you should totally check out their YouTube channel. I've linked it on screen. And I'll see you next week. Bye!